So last year, I went to the doctor. They checked my height and weight, checked my heart rate, that type of thing. It was a pretty normal visit. Eventually, we got to the part where we could ask the doctor questions. I asked her about a rash on my neck that had really been bothering me. Immediately, I saw her looked worried. This absolutely terrified me, because doctors don't normally look worried unless there's something serious going on. So I thought maybe I had a terminal illness or some disease I'd never heard of. Eventually, after I stopped panicking and a few minutes of research, we found out that this rash, it was called scleroderma diabeticorum, and this indicates insulin resistance. So what is insulin resistance? First, we need to know what insulin does in our body. Insulin is a very powerful hormone that is in charge of all the other hormones in our body. When you eat something, such as, especially carbohydrate foods, such as donuts, bread, or pasta, the insulin is released by your pancreas. Now, these foods, when we eat them, are broken down into their simplest form, sugar. When it's in our body, we call this sugar glucose. Glucose is fuel for our cells. So think of your cells like locks. Insulin is the key that unlocks these locks to let glucose in to fuel your cells. Now, when you're insulin resistant, your cells actually build up an immunity to this insulin, and it makes it harder for fuel to get in. This is obviously a problem, so glucose then stays in your bloodstream or it's stored as fat. But the glucose in your bloodstream eventually causes you to have high blood sugar, which can lead to type 2 diabetes. So this was happening to me. It was happening inside my body. It's pretty scary, right? So to fix this problem, I was told I needed to lose weight. Now you're like, wait, what? She's 13. Why does she need to lose weight? I was, of course, a little offended. I had the exact same thoughts. But it turns out that losing weight would help me bring my blood sugar down to a normal level. This didn't work. Sure, we were eating salads, we cut back on the sugar, we cut back on the carbs, but nothing was working. Instead of losing weight, I actually gained weight. And my blood sugar was way out of the normal range. I was pretty much ready to give up and become diabetic. My mom, however, had different ideas. She found us a nutrition class at the Center for Nutritional Weight and Wellness in Minnesota, and it did change our lives. I learned that to lose weight, you actually have to eat a new way. This involves balancing out your protein, fat, and carbohydrates. I found this a little confusing at first because I found this confusing, especially eating fats. I mean, why fats? All of our lives we've been told, don't eat those, they're bad. They'll destroy your body. Some of that's true, some of it isn't. Certain fats, like trans fats, yes, are bad. Others aren't that bad. Others like avocados, nuts, seeds, whipping cream, but not the stuff from the can, even though I really do like that. They actually help balance our blood sugar so you stay full longer and it helps you lose weight. The fats we've been warned about are trans fats. Stuff like margarine, which is actually partially hydrogenated vegetable oil. Now, this is vegetable oil with hydrogen added to it. And long story short, when you eat this, it actually damages your organs more than it helps you. So we had to start eating good fats instead of this gross stuff that isn't good for you. And that was tough. We weren't really eating what we were supposed to be. So after we made the switch to fats, we had to switch to carbohydrates. And when I say carbohydrates, I don't mean bread, pasta, and donuts, although I really, really like donuts. I mean things like vegetables. And eating vegetables was almost a foreign concept to me. I mean, yeah, I did eat a salad like once in a while, and I sure ate vegetables with dinner, but I didn't like them. I'd rather eat a sandwich or pasta. But it turns out that these foods drive your blood sugar up more than it helps you. So we had to find substitutes. And these vegetables, which are good carbohydrates, help stabilize your blood sugar. So instead of eating noodles and pasta. Instead, we ate zucchini, which I thought was really weird at first, but it's actually kind of good. And then instead of eating bread in a sandwich, we ate lettuce as bread, which is kind of hard, but I digress. Instead, also I had to start exercising. This, again, was a foreign concept. I mean, sure, I played softball like once or twice a week. I jumped on the trampoline with my sister sometimes, and I did, on the rare occasion, go for a walk. But what I was doing wasn't working. I used excuses, homework, chores, theater, piano lessons, all to get out of doing exercising. Eventually, my parents had enough of this. We made an exercise schedule, which I absolutely hated at first, because I had to block out my free time to do something I didn't want to do. Eventually, though, it did help, and I exercise more regularly now. So, my journey isn't all glitz and glamour like you see in the media. It's a lot of hard work, and a lot of times it's a struggle. Sometimes it feels like an endless uphill climb with the odds stacked against you. And although it sounds cliched, when life gets tough, the tough get tougher. I like to think of myself as a strong person. Maybe I am. The one thing that I have learned throughout this experience, ordeal, journey, whatever you want to call it, is that you have to treat each day like you're starting over. Sure, maybe I didn't eat well. Maybe I didn't exercise. Maybe I didn't do what I was supposed to do today. That's okay. Tomorrow's a new day, and it gets better. Take it from me. I've improved my blood sugar, and I'm no longer pre-diabetic. Now I'm working towards losing weight so I don't become pre-diabetic again. Sure, sometimes I fall off the bandwagon. In fact, a lot of times I fall off the bandwagon. But that's okay, because each day presents a new opportunity, and with those new opportunities, you can make yourself and the world around you better. Thank you.